everybody, welcome to Stamping for Scrapbookers. This month we're working with geometric stamps, and I'm going to be working with that detailed diamond stamp from the Stamp Market. So I'm going to be using my Chamel's Best of Both Worlds kit for August, and I'm going to start by matching a color to every one of these squares in this Pinkfish Studio paper. I did pretty good. I have a couple that are a little more contrasty than I really wanted, but that's okay. And in the end, this layout turns out amazing. I super love it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the stamping. So I've chosen an ink color to go with every tone of this paper from Pinkfish Studio. They are all my Altenew and mini die inks because that's what I have the most of. So I used the mini die inks and I matched the other thing. Just an aside, the other thing that I think is really, really cool is that Altenew's mini die inks, the color that's on the top of the color swatch that's on the top of the mini cubes is very, very accurate to the color that is in the ink. So you really can match it up quite easily without needing to swatch a ton to get just the right color. So for those two reasons, I went ahead and I used my mini cubes, and I was able to do all those colors. I didn't even believe I had that many ink cubes, but sure enough, I did. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to stamp the detailed diamond stamps tone on tone in a design over the top of each of these squares. Then I'm going to fussy cut out each of the squares so that they become separate elements. And once we have them all stamped and cut apart, we're going to kind of recreate the page onto a sheet of white cardstock, but we're going to add a little bit to it and we're going to turn it on its side. But you'll see that in just a minute. So right now you can see how I'm just stamping. So I have my ink color. I'm using my Misty, but I'm not using it with the door. So I'm just using it as almost like a stamp mat to do my stamping on my paper with acrylic blocks. So you can see here what kind of really cool effect this has. I have all these gorgeous squares now, and I'm going to turn them on their side so that they are diamonds. And I'm going to kind of put them in rainbow order and create a background. So I know I have two photos, and I know that I don't have enough squares to cover the whole paper. I went into this knowing I didn't have all the squares to cover the whole paper, and that's okay. I have already chosen the two photos I want to use, so I just know that I'm going to leave an open space where those two photos, my embellishments, my journaling, all that will go. And it works out really well. So you can see here, I'm going to fidget with these quite a bit. So I'm going in rainbow order. I'm doing it on a diagonal. I end up kind of leaving some open spaces, and that's okay because that's going to help me when I embellish. I'm going to know exactly where to add areas of embellishment. But planning out this grid and getting these grid squares onto my page first is going to help me when it is time for me to create the rest of my layout. So you can see here I'm adding this green, I'm adding the blue, kind of popping it in, leaving some open spots. And I know my photos are going to go right there. See, I'm making sure that my photos are going to fit and that this is going to work the way it is in my head, if that makes sense. And then I do end up shifting that one green piece down further because I want to make sure that I have a nice triangle of embellishments. So the next thing I'm doing is I am taking my Making Memories distress tool. This is an old distress tool. You know what's really funny though? The other morning I was watching a Missy Whitten video. She has the same distress tool I do. So hers is really old too. They work like a dream. Someone commented and said they got one at eBay. So maybe you can check that out, but they're by Making Memories. So I'm going around all of the edges. I'm roughing the edges up a lot. And then I'm sticking this grid down and I'm just working. This was probably the most tedious. Believe it or not, the stamping went really fast. But that was the most tedious, was distressing all those edges. I'm going to use this paper from the Best of Both Worlds kit and map my kind of like my highlighted photo, the photo that I want to have the most attention drawn to. And I'm also going to pop this one up on foam tape. So I have one sheet of 12 by 12 paper left in my Chamel's Best of Both Worlds kit. But I still have a lot of stickers and I still have a good bit of embellishment. So I think my next couple of layouts, we're going to have to pull out some white cardstock so we can get through this kit the way I really, really want to. I really want to kill it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my photos right here. And then I have this one. I'm going to grab my Big Mama roll of tape. So this tape is from Amazon. So if you want to get this tape, don't look up scrapbooking tape. It's picture hanging tape. That's what it's called, picture hanging foam tape. It works awesome. And you get two huge rolls of it for like $10. So it's a really great budget-friendly option. And I really like it. It doesn't work for small things. I still have my Doris, those thin adhesive strips that I really like for kind of small things. And I'm going to use those here. But for like photos and stuff, I like it. I like it more than the fun foam. It is a little more expensive than the fun foam, but I like the depth of it and the height of it. So now you can see I have these kind of open areas in my grid, and that's where I'm going to start to add the embellishments. And so what that ends up doing is it gives me 3 really nice areas of embellishments that allow me to kind of spread my design all over the page. So what is really cool about this layout is that it's about flowers. Yay! So we definitely are going to use lots and lots of flowers. I used a piece of the cut apart sheet. This was from Pink Fresh Studios Stay at Home collection. I did my journaling right there, and I know I want to add flowers. I'm not sure which ones I want to add or what colors I want to go with. And I'm going to kind of look, and then what I do end up doing though is finding my title. So my title for this layout is going to be Hello Favorite Bloom. And the journaling talks about how my son, during the pandemic and we were home all the time, my youngest son discovered his love of outdoor things. So he's never been really outdoorsy, but because we were home and he, it was like you're inside or you're outside, he kind of discovered the things that he loves to do outside. So he loves to garden and he loves to plant flowers. He started to grow bonsai trees. It's amazing, like all of the interests he has all of a sudden. And probably not all of a sudden just because we were home, right? So he could really focus on, learning some of the things that he really does enjoy. So that is one of the really positive things that came out of the pandemic, and I want to make sure that I document that. So yeah, he also started bird watching. We got a bird feeder for the backyard, and he started, drawing birds and looking at birds. And so it was really nice. I'm trying to really focus on the positive things in my 12 by 12 album that have occurred during this strange time. And this was one of them. This was one of the really cool things that happened. So I'm going to look at these sticker books 800 times before I decide exactly which ones I'm going to use and what I'm going to do. And I am going to I thought about adding this tag, but I didn't want tags. I just honestly wanted to fill that corner with flowers. And I was trying to decide if I was going to take a deep breath and go for it and use all the flower stickers that are in this kit, or if I was going to try to be stingy and save some for later. But in the end, what I did was I took all of the loose flowers from both of the stickers. So the ones that were all bunched together, I kept those. I didn't use those. But these little kind of artsy daisy flowers, and one of the sticker sheets is from the Bloom collection, and one of the sticker sheets is from Picnic in the Park from Amy Tangerine. And I just filled that whole corner with flowers because that's really what this layout and what my journaling is all about. So I got him, he isn't great with taking pictures. He doesn't really, love it when I take pictures, but he was all about sitting out in the sunshine and letting me snap a picture of him with these gorgeous, they're like blood red petunias that he grew this summer in the pot. So I am now going through with these Doodlebug enamel dots. I'm going to go ahead and add these little yellow enamel dots everywhere. So I just wanted to share this layout with you because I think it's important to know that stamping doesn't have to be straight onto your background page. And it doesn't have to be front and center. I did this completely tone on tone. It didn't take a terrible amount of time once I had matched up all the ink colors. And in the end, this paper went from pretty cool to wow. So you can see all of the pretty geometric pattern that I used in the close-ups. All right, that's going to complete this month's stamping for Scrapbookers. Make sure to check out Christina, Sandy, and Caitlin's videos. Their channels will be linked below, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.